In this video, I'm going to be talking about what I want added to War Thunder's American Air Tree for 2025 to kind of spice up the game and change it around a bit. So I think at 7.0 they should add the XB43 Jetmaster. I'll flash a photo up on the screen if I can find one while I talk about it. So the XB43 was an experimental early jet prototype or jet bomber prototype. It's very similar in performance to the Arado AR-234s. The lowest ranked jet bomber, and for a reason, it's a shitty bomb load. This one would be a lot more similar to something like the AR-234C. It doesn't have guns, about the same speed, and it's got really bad weaponry, or defensive weaponry. So at 7.0, this would be an aircraft that flies at 550 miles an hour at maximum speed at sea level, because early jet engines are all only good at sea level. Higher up, they really start to falter. They don't like to work higher up for some reason. I don't actually know how that works for jet engines, but you're talking about a plane that's going slower than an F-80 A5, which is already one of the slowest jets in game. So this is something that's going to be easily caught at sea level by the 7.0 jets, especially stuff like the F-84, which is extremely fast for 6.7. So that thing's just going to get caught. However, it's very fast for a bomber. You would get a bomber air spawn because it's a rank 4 7.0 bomber, and other notable features. It had a It had two 50 caliber back machine guns. Yet that's not going to do shit for you. I'm gonna be frank. And it also had 8,000 pounds of bombs. So this would more so be, you could say it's like a hindrance from getting the B-57, but I'd just say it's, it's a cool early option for jets at 7.0 for the American Tech Tree. It would not be the lowest, but it would be the lowest decent jet bomber, I would say. Because the AR-234A1 is just shit. Alright, let's be frank, I've shot that thing down like 30 times. It's absolutely dog shit. It should not be at 6.3. It should not really even be in the game. It has 750 kilograms of bomb load and goes piss poor slow. Alright. This thing's not much faster. I'm going to be frank. It's 550 miles an hour at 7.0. But that's a lot faster than the B-29. The B-29 is stupid slow. It gets shot down by MiG-15s all the time. But the XB43, you would at least have that benefit of speed going along with you. So the next aircraft I think that should be added is the B-66 destroyer. Now this thing goes 631 miles an hour, and it seems pretty damn good. There are only a couple aircraft at 8.7 that could catch it. The F-84F, let's go to Great Britain. I don't know why I went to USSR. The Swift could, Scimitar, my bad, not the Swift. The Scimitar could easily catch it. The Meteor, these aircraft would just not be even able to be close. This thing flies about 100 miles an hour faster than the Seahawk. The Javelin would be able to probably shoot down with a missile. Yeah, it's got the fire streaks, which are, they're very fast missiles. They'd be good. They'd be able to do it easily if you get on the tail of it. Hunter would be able to, these are, you kind of get in the rank 6 lineup is where you'd be able to start shooting it down. And really, Lightning would be able to just completely destroy it. Honestly, it wouldn't be fair. Harriers, the Harrier jump jet, the Jaguar, all of these aircraft here. This would be a full up tier to this. At being at 8.7, USA, you'd probably get constant up tiers though, because you're a bomber and War Thunder hates bombers. However, let's just the reason I think it would be really good is because it's really just a better B-57. So the B-66 destroyer goes for, quite a bit faster. It goes about 40 miles an hour. Wait, no, 631, 598. It goes, I would say at least 30 miles an hour faster-ish. 26, I want to say? No, 23 miles an hour faster. So the B-66 goes 23 miles an hour faster than the B-57B. It does. It gets two. It gets a twin 20mm back gun. That's it. It's a remote controlled back turret, and it gets 15,000 pounds bomb load. I think it would really, once again, the U.S. bomber tree is very barren. Here, they're all just strike aircraft. They don't even count as bombers. These are basically just fighters. So I don't think it really works that well at really where they are in the idea of the bomber tree, because I really like the bombers. All of these aircraft look very cool, but I feel like there's something definitely missing here. So I feel like the B-66 destroyer easily able to fill that gap as a medium bomber to complement, not really complement, but kind of just be a better B-57. It's 1950s design. It got radar warning receivers, no chaff or flares. So once again, stuff like the fire streaks from your javelin right here, that's just wraps. You're over. If they catch you, if they're able to hit you with a fire streak from back. It'd be really your biggest downside would be the massive amount of missiles at. Well, it's not really a massive amount. Sorry, massive amount of missiles at an up tier that you would have to face, because you would be fighting 9.7s. I mean, the F-100D catch you, you're dead. 9.7s, you're getting MiG-19Ss catch you, gone. Actually, there's not a lot of 9.7s here. Oh, MiG-23BN, yeah, you're dead instantly. Like, there's no way to even. I don't even know why I think you could do anything about that. He'd be able to catch you. He'd be able to turn fight you. You're just gone. USSR gets their really strong MiG-21s at this tier with radar missiles, I think. Are these the radar missiles? No, these are the yeah, I mean the Yak-38 would be able to destroy you. He's faster than you, hit you with an R-60, which will just, I'm gonna be honest, completely kill you instantly. There's nothing you can do about an R-60. It's 30G overload missile. He'd get you in an up tier, you'd be just fucked. Like plain and simple, 9.7s would be able to completely demolish you. The Lightning F1, all of these interceptors, Hunter, this thing should not be at 9.7. I'm going to be honest. I mean, SRAMs are really good. They have really short range. Like, absurdly short range. SRAMs, but, like, that's not a 9.7. That really is just a 9.0 vehicle. 9.3, I think. But, as I was saying, B-66 will really work at 8.7, because if you get a 7.7, 8.7 down tier, you are laughing. You're the laughing stock of the town. No, you're not the laughing stock. That's the wrong saying. Fuck. Anyway, continuing on, you would get then the B-47, which, some would say is a downside, or is a worse vehicle, and I would say it's actually a lot better, in my opinion. Number one, the B-47 looks fucking cool as shit. It's a really, really unique looking swept wing tandem cockpit early jet bomber built in the 1940s, or developed in the 1940s, built in the 1950s, and it's rather famous. It had a chaff pod, so I think it's very fitted at 9.0, 9.3, probably closer to 9.3 rather than 9.0, and it flew at 607 miles an hour, so it's quite a bit slower. It's only marginally faster than this guy. It's 9 miles an hour faster than this guy. Slower by about 20-ish miles than, no, not 20. Yeah, no, a bit over 20. 24 miles an hour slower than the B-66 would be. However, it got 25,000 pounds of bombs, which is really good, and that same twin 20mm back turret. At 9.3, number one, you have your biggest enemy at this tier will be those radar missiles. If you were to get up tier to 10.3, 10.3, you're just dead. 10.3 is where you would just be a goner no matter what. I'm going to be honest with you there. You have shit like the AIM-9Ds, which are bullshit mobiles. These are aircraft that are stupid fast. Hell, even the F-3H, actually not, 9.3, you'd be up tiered into the Phantoms. And, normally you would think, well, I'm a bomber, I'm a big fat slow bomber, I'm going to eat a Sparrow. You would not in the B-47, because the B-47 carried a chaff pod. At least one variant of it did carry it. It would be the RB-47 carried the chaff pod. But let's break some realism here. Purely for the fact that it would be playable at 9.7. Otherwise, all bombers would really be only able to be played below this tier. Any actual strategic bombers. So it went, 607 miles an hour, had 25,000 pounds of bomb load, and as a chaff pod, it's, once again, it's one of the most famous bombers of all time. I don't see why it's not already here at 9.3. 9.3 in realistic, you would have the F-104 and the F-100, which could help escort you. These are very capable aircraft. The F-104 is a bitch. And the F-100 is kind of slept on because it gets these 4 AIM-90s, which might be some of the better missiles at 9.3. Besides the fucking bullshit R-60s that are at 9.3. But besides those, you are in a very good position, I would say. Protective-wise, of course, that is if your teammates understand the idea of protecting bombers and not just running into the ground trying to go after a base, because that's what everybody at 9.3 seems to want to do. Anyway, as I was saying, I think the B-47 would work really well as a rank 6 bomber, and most people would think that's kind of where you would end bomber lines for your strike aircraft, but I have a different idea. And this is where it gets really radical and probably the biggest reach choice here. You go from B-47 9.3 to B-58 10.0. So the B-58, once again, is another extremely famous American bomber, and it went Mach 2. That's how the B-58 worked. Its only defense, besides a chaff pod, just like the B-47, went Mach 2. That's really its entire idea was, fuck it, just run. It was meant to be a supersonic strategic bomber. It only carried nukes, which, once again, is why this would probably not be added, because if War Thunder was great, they would just break the realism and give it a couple 3,000-pound bombs, but they're not going to do that. So for nukes, I think it'd be very simple. Just have a simple 1 kilometer kind of region, like a circle, where the nuke was dropped, and anything in that circle dies. And the circle goes up maybe like 1,000, maybe at most meters, maybe 1,000 at most meters. I think that'd be very fair for a nuke, because you'd still get that really cool look of the nuke dropping, but you wouldn't have to deal with the bullshit of wiping out half the entire server, including friendlies. And of course, it just one-shot the base. But I think that'd just be a very simple way of saying, boom, nuke dropped. If you're right next to it, dead, because I'm going to flash on the screen I think it's a B-61. B-61 nuclear bomb is what was used by the B-58. And once again, this was made to strike Soviet strongholds and population centers. So the B-61 was kind of a very important bomb here. And I'm going to show you real quick on screen, as I said, what an actual blast from the B-61 would be like. It was, if I'm correct, and it could carry 4 of these. It's not the most powerful one. It would say 350 kiloton, 340 to 400 kiloton bomb. So this right here is a 400 kiloton B-61 nuke, and as you can see, the heavy blast damage radius from it is 1.6 kilometers, and it goes up 16 kilometers into the atmosphere. And ignoring everything else, that would just completely demolish a War Thunder match and map. So I think it's fair for the kind of rules that I set up, or the idea that I had. It could carry one B-53 6 megaton bomb. Nobody wants it in War Thunder. That'd be absurd. Maybe you could give it the B-43, which was, much more powerful at 1 megaton. It's a 600 kiloton increase of explosive power. So I'm going to flash both the B-61 and the B-43's explosion on screen to show you what it would actually do. It's not be an air burst, to be a ground burst to take out the base. This is the B-43 1 megaton bomb that it also carried. It could carry 4 of these, and it has a heavy blast damage area of 2.18 kilometers, which is, it's absurd. It goes even higher up into the atmosphere. It's got a massive ionizing radiation sphere, and I didn't even mention the 5 psi wave, which also would probably take out aircraft, which expands much, much, much further than the 20 psi wave. So I just don't think anybody wants these. Anybody wants those longer psi waves or the actual size of them. I think just that 1 kilometer kind of size is fair for War Thunder. So yeah, you can see they would deal a lot of damage. So I think, just a 1 kilometer range of 1,000 meters up, just kind of like a circle like that, would be fair for everything to be kind of destroyed in that circle. And of course, I mean, you'd still have like the shock with like taking out trees from a while away, but the B-58 I think would be very good at 10.0. Because once again, up tier to 11.0, at 10.0 you have Phantoms, this stuff already. Up tier to 11.0, you're just dead in that thing. F5E is coming for your bitch ass. You have no defensive turrets. At 11.0, the Soviets have the MiG-23, the Su-17. You're already dealing with an Su-25. He would never catch you, but Su-25 is a bitch. I don't even know why this is here. These are jet fighters. But yeah, that's what you would be dealing with at 11.0. Great Britain. Let's see. British. Yeah, you're just dealing with some more Harriers. At 11.0, I mean, there's not really much else. The British kind of suck. Germany, you would just be dealing with more Soviet vehicles. F-104G, it would be at 11.0. So I think 10.0 with chaff mod, very good. So once again, the XP-43 Mix Max, Jetmaster, right here, XP-43 Jetmaster, the B-66 Destroyer, B-47 Stratojet, B-58 Hustler will be what I would add to the American bomber line. Now, the only final other addition I would be giving to this kind of tech tree is to really fill out right beneath the F-104 at 9.7 BR. I think there should be the F-101 Voodoo. So the F-101 Voodoo is a rather cool aircraft. I'll flash a picture on screen if I can find one. And the F-101 flew slower than the F-104, actually. It flew at 1,134 miles an hour. However, it carried 2 very, very powerful engines. This was made as a jet interceptor for bombers, and it had two 12,000 pounds force dry engines that could go to 17,000 pounds force wet. Or that's with afterburner. That's what you say when wet. And at 35,000 feet, it cruised at 1,134 miles an hour. Now, it is notable, I would say, for not having any guns. A lot of these Century Series interceptors did not have any guns. Instead, it carried 4 AIM-4 Falcons. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, guys, you wouldn't have had a plane with no guns, would they? They definitely would. Because the F-4, which would be only 0.3 battle rating higher, carries 4 better radar missiles. This would simply basically just be a prototype F-4 to get you into the idea of just fighting with purely missiles. Now, is it fun to play the F-4 with 4 missiles? Honestly, it's how I play it. I can't aim for shit at these high speeds. I don't like the radar gun sight type of thing that you kind of get. I play arcade mostly if I want to use the guns, but if I want to just get some kills, grind a little bit extra, I play ARB with these missiles. And let me tell you, these missiles don't hit that often because you are going into 11.0 matches half the time. But at 10.7, because this would be at 9.7, the F-101 Voodoo, you're really just fighting some MiG-21s. That's probably the worst thing you're fighting is the MiG-21. It's an MF. You're not fighting F-104G. You're not fighting any other bullshit mobiles that are really, that are just dumping out chaff and flares. I mean, you could be fighting the Su-25. I don't know any. I've never seen any Su-25 that's climbed all the way on up to where radar missiles are super effective at this BR. I don't think you dump countermeasures. I don't have countermeasures. Nope, no countermeasures. 10 more. SMT does have flares and chaff, but I don't think it has many. These Falcons, number 1, were they the best missile? No. The Sparrow, the AIM-7D is very good. Is a lot better, I think, from my understanding. But the F-101 Voodoo, I think, would be a very good addition here at 9.7. It also, guy just never going to add this. Had 2 Genie rockets. If you want to search those up, you can. They're never going to have that. I'm not even going to suggest them to add it because they'd be stupid. Like, really stupid. But the M4 Falcons, not the greatest. However, it carried, pretty sure it carried the best ones. The, what do they call it? The, AIM-4Ds, I think that was the best one. It might have been an AIM-4F. I don't remember. They went Mach 3. They have about 7.68 pounds of explosive filler, and they were actually both rear aspect homing and semi-active radar. So they could be used as some rear aspect homing missiles. I don't know how much G tolerance they had, but according to my Siri assistant, that they can handle over 16 Gs, which at 9.7 would make it one of the best missiles at 9.7 on an extremely capable airframe. You just wouldn't have a gun. But the F-101, I think, would be, I'm going to be honest, probably the most realistic of any of these aircraft besides the B-47. The B-47 and the F-101, I think, are very realistic aircraft to come to the American tech tree. The B-66, it hasn't been added yet. I don't think it ever will be. And the B-58 will never be added. I've looked on the War Thunder forums. I just said it could be cool. It has been said like 70 times it will never be added. But that is my list of what I think should be added to War Thunder in 2024. So tell me what you guys think, and I will see you all next time.